Hey everyone, Joe Hentges here with Beyond the Chart. In the stock market update, I'm going to take a look at the market the way I usually do on the weekend, then check in on Caterpillar, Exxon Mobil, and US Steel. One of these beat Apple's performance this week. Stay tuned. Okay, we're going to start off here with the S&P 500. Now, this is the daily chart of it. As you can see on my wave count, I believe that we're in a minor wave 3 moving up in here. Very strong move that's happened post-Brexit. And that right now we've had this consolidation. It's been moving sideways basically since July 14th. And for the week, well, yesterday it was up 3.5 points. We may be kicking something off here. It's really hard to tell. But the S&P was only, it was down like a little over a point for the entire week. So this consolidation has continued. We need to break out of this, and I'm expecting a strong next wave up. Now, there's always a possibility this can morph into something else. I do have an alternative scenario that I've shared with my insider members, but I don't really want to go into that at this point. Right now, this is my preferred count, and we're just going to stay with that. The next thing I'm going to look at here is the Dow and the S&P and the Nasdaq on a monthly basis. You can see up 502 points for the month on the Dow, and continues all-time high, closing high on a monthly basis for all three of these. And yeah, it just looks like it just wants to continue to push higher right now. And you can't fight City Hall right now. If that's the way it wants to go, that's the way it's going to go. And the S&P 500 was up almost 75 points. It closed on the high, closed almost on its high, 3 points off its high for the month at 2,173.60. So that's the close on the S&P 500 on a monthly basis. You can see the picture here. The thing that's been interesting on a couple of these actually is that we got the 10 bar moving average, the 10-month average, breaking back above the 21 for the first time here. And that's very unusual once it broke below it back over here. And let me see, to do it here, slightly below it on January, in the January move. And in the past 26 years, that hasn't happened. So it's really, really interesting. Now, this could be just part of a topping process. That's what I expect. But right now, we're just going to have to see what kind of move we get to the high side. The Nasdaq 100, yes, we are closing at a monthly all-time high on the Nasdaq 100. We are above these two monthlies, July of last year and November of last year. We're closing above that. What's the dotted line? The dotted line is the high, intra-month high from March 2000. That's the picture on the Nasdaq. And so it's come back very, very strong. It was kind of lagging for a while, along with the Russell 2000, but now the Russell 2000 and the New York Composite are the two lagging indices. Hi-Lo, it's very interesting on the New York Stock Exchange, 52-week new highs, new lows, 303 on Friday. Continue to push up in here. The interesting thing with this indicator is that when you look at what's been going on, you can see how it barely got above, say, the 100 range at its peak, starting back in April of last year, actually all the way back late March of last year. And it just, so when it rallied, it barely got above that until March of this year, kicking off, coming off that February low, and we rallied to a slightly higher level. And you can see if you draw a line through the middle of this range, you're around 125 to 150. Now, all of a sudden, in this move post-Brexit that we launched into, we've now stayed above 150 and have stayed above that since June. Let's see, 151 on June 28th, the end of the month. So here we are. It kind of indicates to me, it kind of seems to be staying in tune with the fact that we're pushing higher in another, if I think it's a fifth and final leg. Okay, had to get some water there. And let's take a look at the semiconductors. On a weekly basis, the SMH continues to push high, continues to confirm the move in the market, and that's really what I'm looking for in here. I don't have a wave count on this. The next one I'll take a look at is the home builders. Not so much on the home builders. Yes, we did get some more move up in here, but we're rapidly approaching this trend line that has repelled it before. It did it in April of this year. And this is the trend line from the lows from October 2014 and August 2015. That's the trend line we're talking about. It repelled it in April, and we're rapidly approaching it. And it's going to coincide with resistance that came in right here in November of last year. And what is that? Close to 37. So that's going to be interesting to see if we get there and punch through that this coming week or two. All right, so that's the home builders and the financials. They continue to reflect the consolidation that's been going on sideways in the market here, XLF, and it's right at this downward trend line. It still has not been able to punch above that, but if we get the next leg and it pushes, it could go. It's going to get a little bit of resistance here, but my guess is if we push out of this consolidation, that's not going to provide much resistance. It's going to be more like up in this level around where we had resistance back in November, December. So that's the picture on XLF. Let's take a look at CAT, US Steel, and Exxon Mobil. All right, the first one I want to look at is Caterpillar. Caterpillar earnings came out. They exceeded expectations, but of course all the expectations had been deflated. So, it's like, okay, Cat's not doing that great. I mean, they're struggling globally, but they beat the expectations for this report. So this week, their stock was up 4.2%, which was very, very good. I mean, that beat, almost beat Google, but it beat Amazon and it beat Facebook for the week. So that's the way this is trending. I still think CAT is in a counter-trendish move right now. I think it's been going through a major topping and is in a downtrend, and that this is just counter-trend move that's going on right now. But I think it might continue to push higher with the market and maybe go all the way up until it starts getting resistance here at 89.90. All right, so that's CAT. Let's take a look at Exxonmobil on a weekly basis. Now, I don't have a long-term Elliott wave count on Exxonmobil, but it's really interesting. See this trend line? Where's this trend line coming from? All right, let's take a look. All the way back to when I believe this major bull market kicked off in 1982. This last major segment of the stock market, 1982. And look at the trend. Here's the 87 crash low. Here's the 1994 point. Here's the 2010 low, actually, which got a little bit lower than the 2008 low on ExxonMobil. So this solid trend line in here was shattered. Here got a little bit of support around it in early 2015, was shattered in mid-2015. And then we've been pulling back in this counter trend zigzag move all the way up to it, and then it's repelled it the last 2 weeks, actually, and then this is the last week's performance. ExxonMobil down 5 points on the week, down 5.4% on disappointing earnings. So the oil impact was really hitting them after everybody was thinking, well, maybe it bottomed out. So it's going to be real interesting to see now, is this the start of another leg to the downside? That's what I'll be watching on ExxonMobil. And then the last one that we're going to look at here, if I can find it, is here it is, right in front of me, US Steel. And this is the winner of the three. US Steel was up 29.9% this week. And why did that happen? US Steel raised their guidance for the rest of the year, and so they feel like things are improving. But when you look at this, here's the resistance that it just ran into this week, right here at this top. 27.68 is the, let's just call it 27.75, okay, to 28. That's the resistance it's running into. The high, 27.64 for the week. Big, big move. But what's been going on with US Steel? Okay, here's the picture. Wow. I mean, look at the collapse, 2008 to 2009, and then all of this is below that level. This whole move since mid last year, with China saying, oh yeah, we're in trouble. And of course, actually that's 2014. I'm sorry, that's 2014. That's September 2014. Here is, where is it? Here's where that started happening with China. But this is reflecting the glut of capacity and the impact of, the global situation with China. China expanded a ton of steel and flooded the market with steel, and all of that impact was having on U.S. steel. So now we're getting this counter trend move. What's really going to be interesting here, this looks like a big corrective move that could be over, but I'm not quite seeing a 5-wave counting here. So I'm just a little suspicious as to what's going on, and it's come very far, very fast. So that's the picture on U.S. Steel. Continue to watch that one. That is one of the ones I watch on a daily basis along with Kat. So that's the picture with these three this week. Hope you found that helpful. If you're watching this anywhere but my website, head on over to the website and put in your email and first name and email and get on my list. You'll get updates from me. Plus, I've got that free PDF for you, the 5 Essentials, which is a PDF that Paul Tudor Jones talked about, what he considered to be the 5 essentials for people interested in the trading business. So that's something I've got for you. And then if you're not a subscriber here on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and subscribe. We'll see you on the next video. Everyone have a great weekend.